All right. So, welcome back. Here we are. It is August, and in our third annual summertime ad hoc on location podcast, we are down at the Jersey Shore in LBI. And with me again, Mr. Kevin Cushley. Kevin, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Great.
I'm thoroughly enjoying our annual podcast. We got to come up with a name. I know we're missing one of our key members, but this is
We're missing multiple key members. We've had, so Thomas isn't here. My brother, well, I shouldn't say, he's not here right now. My brother and I were down together at the shore for a week. We actually tried a podcast episode, but I botched it terribly. So the whole thing crashed about 35 minutes in, and then we just kept going for another hour, and we had no idea. So we're going to see. I might try to salvage a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, Thomas isn't here now, and we also don't have other guests, Chris Saletti,
Yeah.
but pour one out to him. Maybe he'll come around next time. And we also, in a unique change of pace, we have hot caffeinated beverages.
no alcoholic beverage, so we'll keep it low key this year.
Yeah,
no crazy topics, and
we're sneaking this in at like, what is it? It's like 8:30 in the morning right now.
yeah, just so we don't ruin a beach day.
So we'll ruin it, right?
The kids don't go crazy.
Mhm.
Wives are happy.
Yeah,
Kind of,
we're being considerate, well put together fathers who
we're trying our best.
trying our best. It's 8:30 in the morning. Might as well. This is normally after the close. It should be before the open.
Yeah, this is
call this episode before the open.
It's a summer Friday, so it's a little more
Friday. Yeah,
relaxed.
so a lot of people have an Irish coffee on their summer Fridays, but not us.
We'll be gentlemen and keep it regular coffee.
Sure. But yes, it's 8:30 in the morning on day 13 for me.
I'm only day 5. I still have a long journey to go, and I'll probably be where you're sitting a week from now.
I hear you. I am
ready to go.
I'm sunburned. I am exhausted. I have really got like jacked shoulders now because I've been like lifting the baby around everywhere. Like 25 pounds of
brute. He's a brute.
He's a brute. He's just the type that wants to sit in your arms constantly. So I'm just carrying him around carrying him around the beach, carrying him around the boardwalk, carrying him around the streets. Just
That's the bad duties of beach life. Unfortunately, it doesn't go unnoticed. All the other dads are appreciative.
Oh well, thank you.
The moms might not be, but
I never compare myself to other dads. That's not true. I do it all the time. But what I mean is, I don't do it in like a real like negative way. I don't do it in like I have very like you do you. Like I don't like you can't. I don't. You yell at your kid out on the beach. I have no idea what happened for the 3 hours leading up to that moment. What normal home life is like. You have no idea what the context is. So. And I get it, so I never judge parents for especially on their vacation, because it's an extra, it's a bitch.
It just seems like vacation, for as amazing and as fun and as great as it is, there's always like little like nuances that are just like, oh, I forgot.
Right.
The sandwiches,
Mm-hmm.
and, there's a dig from the wife, and you're like, just adds to it, and then the kids are going nuts, and then it's just like it's great and it's fun, but there's always like a little like.
There's an irony of vacations, I think, because any child rearing book will tell you routine is key, and you deliberately tell that axiom to go fuck itself for a week, and you're just like, it's like, it'd be great. Let me drop a few grand to toil away taking care of my kids, and just end up worse off and more exhausted than when you started.
Agreed. And then when you go home to go back to normal life, it takes weeks to remotely even get back, and it's just torture and mayhem.
In some ways, the objective of the vacation is it's not so much to recharge your batteries, it's so that when you get home, you're like, oh, thank God I'm home. Thank God I can wake up. Thank God I can wake up and take the turnpike up to work the next day.
And go back to doing everything I hope to do to get to this point where I'm at the beach again.
Yes, and then it just repeats for 40 years.
Yes,
40 years. Yeah.
Which I don't mind. I love this. I think this is the greatest. I think that when we have this big group going, And for everyone, we have a large group of almost like 30 people that come down, and we enjoy this mayhem with the kids and parents. Mm-hmm. We try to do dinners. We try to do everything together. We try to go to Fantasy Island. Somehow it works.
Somehow we pull it off.
It's unbelievable. And it just gets to be like, it's nice to do the memories. It's nice with the kids. You're seeing everybody grow up. There's additions every year. Your family, mine. It's crazy how like we were kids and now we have kids. And it's like the full spectrum circle out. It just gets weird because like.
Sure. I get it. Were you the type of family who came down? Like, are you multi-generational with this now? Like, your parents come down to the beach and you come down as a kid?
So, sort of. Yeah. So, like, growing up, I had a friend that had a house down here, and I'd always come for, like, weeks on end. Mm-hmm. My parents never came down. Okay. It was always just, like, me and, like, friends.
Right.
So now it's interesting to come back and, like we started this, like, I guess, tradition of all of the friends coming. Okay. And, like, whoever's parents come.
Yeah,
and
like a Friendsgiving style vacation.
Yeah, so it's been, like, kind of cool because it's not necessarily, like, a generational. Right. But we've been doing it.
Sure. Like, yeah. No, I get it. Just clicks form, and it just you kind of roll with it, and you find likes, you know. When how did I want to phrase that? We were here the first week. When I say we, I mean Thomas and myself. We were here last week for my dad's 70th birthday.
That's awesome.
So he sprung for the house, and the whole family got together for the first time my nuclear family. So like my brother, I'm one of three boys, and then my parents. First time the five of us were actually on a cohesive vacation together in 20 years.
Wow.
20, like we thought about it. And we're like, when was the last time we did this? And so when I was in high school, like we went to Las Vegas and the Grand Canyon, like a very Clark Griswold style national anthem. Like, we're on a fucking vacation. We went to the Hoover Dam. Yes, we went to Vegas, the Grand Canyon, and the Hoover Dam. And I was a senior in high school, and I had two younger brothers, and we went, and it was just a wacky, ridiculous vacation. And by the end of it, I guarantee you, we were screaming at each other. It was like, I don't want to do this for fucking 20 years before I want to see you people again. And are we men of our words?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that we did the same trip, and it was very interesting. I'll never forget taking a flight. I don't like flying, and distinctly remember going from Las Vegas, some small little airstrip, to the Grand Canyon, and this small little plane, and the plane just going crazy, and being struck by lightning.
Oh my God.
I thought we were going to die. And I just remember the pilot, like, turned around and be like, "We're good." And I just remember the plane ride of this small little plane, shaking and shimmying and getting struck by lightning. It's raining. The pilot turning around, giving us thumbs up, and my brother just passed out the entire time. And it was like a 45-minute trip, and I was like,
"This is the moment." There's like suddenly you're for 20 seconds you're Indiana Jones in the little plane.
And that's what it felt like. That plane was just like that small little like two-person, and it was just.
They start handing out parachutes to all the passengers,
like, just in case. He comes out, he's giving us last rites. I was like, "This is brutal."
That's like if you're on a boat and they start handing out life jackets. You're like, "Oh shit, what's about to happen here?" Did not see this coming. We were in that. We went to that trip, and then nothing for 20 years. Like, we'd touch base with each other. Like, if my parents came down the shore, maybe I would like just shoot over for like a day and see them. But we all had our own schedules and lives. That's really what it becomes when you're older. So like, bringing it back full circle, getting to do the family vacations with the kids now is like low key important, and I kind of get that now. Because I didn't, like, my dad sprung for a house to get all of us in one place together. You know what I mean? Which was like, and it was fun. We had a great time. A good house. It had a pool in the backyard. It had stuff for the kids. It had you know what it had? The big takeaway, the big dark horse fun thing from this vacation. After all the money spent, this is classic, like the kid wants to play with the box instead of the toy.
Yes.
You know the string with the loop, and then you have to like use a pendulum and get it to be on the hook.
Like it's just a classic shore game that costs like 10 cents to make. I tell you, we had a running count all week because it was one in our yard of who was making them, and my brother Thomas didn't get any. He didn't get any. He was like, we were joking he's going to be on the out in the rain at like 1 a.m. just staring at it, just going at it. But that was like the most fun. That we were all just like playing. We just every time we go by, you do like 5 or 6 shots at it, and then you try to accrue your tally.
Did you see it? It was at Seashell.
They have the T one with the 2 people, so you can compete. That was like next level.
So, not gonna lie, probably one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. Cole, my youngest, was firing it and almost killed some girl. And I was like, Cole, you just have to go gentle. And I did it like that. And I was looking
and nailed it.
Killed it. Great. Everybody goes nuts, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
No problem.
What I do?
The key, yes. The key in that moment, men, is to walk away like you do that all the time.
That's what I do.
And it's like, but it's also like Jerry Seinfeld, like, I choose not to run. That was your last shot. You never did it again after that in front of anybody.
I'm retired. I'm never doing it again. That was the last time. First and last, I'm good. Let's go out on top.
That's the trick to that, is to just walk away calmly, you know?
It's crazy, and it's funny, like, those like little dad moments where you're like, your kids go nuts, and you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah. My, in that vein, I got a couple I could probably think of, but I was always a ping pong guy.
Okay.
And like we used to play ping pong after the close. So like in my first trading firm, we had a ping pong table in the back office, whatever. But we actually used it. Like we were like waiting for the bell to ring at 4:00 so that we could like it was like, all right, it's 4:05, like warm up, like let's go play some ping pong. So I got good at. I'm not like an ace or anything, but I like to play. Good at ping pong, working on the trading floor, and then before that, I used to play a lot of beer pong with paddles in college. So, cut to me dating my wife years later. I took her to a place that was like, a basement. It's got like, it had ping pong tables and foosball, and it had like shuffleboard. And it had all these
Chinatown places?
Yeah. And so it was like our third date or whatever, and I say to her, I could knock that cup off the ping pong table. And she's like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, no. And I just cue it up, serve it, give it a swing, and it's like a spittoon in the Old West. It was like, ding! And then I'm just like, what do you want to do now? And she just looks at me like with starstruck that I was able to pull that off.
So that's how you won her over.
That's how it goes in my mind. That's the way I tell the story.
Your killer ping pong skills.
My killer ping pong skills got me a wife. That's what I tell. That's the way I do it.
I mean, we all have different skills.
That's right.
That's a hell of a one to have.
It's not even but it's the same thing. It's like, go, do it again. Nope. No. Come on, let's move on to the next thing. Because it was just dumb luck. I would miss 9 out of 10 times.
But you made it look really good.
You gotta make it look good. That's right.
That's always what it's about, with the stupid things that we do.
So you did, yes, you do the I don't even know what it's called. It's called something.
I have no idea.
But it's just string, hook, yeah, whatever. I don't know. The best part about this whole bit is that even if we need to pause for a second, I can cut the things out. Yeah, so we're in good shape. I have also done the arcades. The arcades was the other big one that we did. Now, I don't know what you think about the pricing for rides and games at the boardwalk in 2025, but I'll tell you, this is a deep cut finance joke. The BLS director who Trump just fired, if she was looking for inflation, she should have been polling the LBI boardwalk.
It's my mortgage guy. I called him twice already to remortgage my house so I can afford 2 nights at Fantasy Island. It's crazy.
It's like every April they start sending out home equity line of credit notices before. Hey, you guys are going down the shore this year, right? You can get yourself some, $10,000 line of credit so you can play ring toss and water guns.
But you know what? I think the investment is great. Like the 97,000 stuffed animals that I have in my kids' rooms, that would cost probably $11 total. and I spent like $500 to get.
At least you got the stuffed animals. At least your kids were talented enough to win the items.
So, I don't know.
I paid $5 a head to hear crying.
Different investment, but
Yeah.
one of the things that I think is kind of crazy, like last year we won the stupid coin toss thing, and it was like a 6-foot seagull that I had to put in my front seat to drive home, and I'm driving down the parkway with a seagull.
Do you still have the seagull at home?
100%.
It's still there. It's part of the family.
It's
He has his own seat.
It sits on the top bunk, and it takes up like half the bed. It's crazy. And along with the 10,000 other stuffed animals that have never been touched after the day they were won.
You know what you really pay for, though? The story of being able to tell that story.
It was phenomenal.
Like, that's kind of what that boils down to. That's a good one. You want to come in and say hi?
Say hi.
Say hi. Who do we got here?
This is Cole. He's a monster.
And Maddie.
All right.
And Maddox.
Maddox, you want to come in and say hi?
Say hi.
Hi.
Do you know what this is? It's a show for daddies to talk about things daddies like to talk about.
Yeah. You know what we like talking about?
Wait.
You.
Yeah, I heard you talking about my seagull.
You're silly.
That's right. We were talking about. What do you think of that seagull? This is like a call-in. We've never had this before. It's like first time, long time. Thanks.
So like when we play those games, like what did you think? Like when we won that seagull?
I was so surprised. I didn't think I was gonna win it. And ring toss.
And it was just kind of crazy walking around with it.
Yeah.
But also, there's like a bragging rights walking around.
Everybody, you are strutting through that.
Like it was the craziest thing. I remember walking around with this thing, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, look at that!" Yeah.
What game did you play?
We did
Ring
this.
toss.
We did this. And it was just kind of like it's almost like a weird bragging rights that you have for that time frame where people are like, "Wow."
Our ancestors would like kill a deer and slug it home over there, chase it down for 3 days, bow and arrow through the heart.
And now we have
Throw it over their back and walk home and rejoice, and the whole village would feast. And you have a highly flammable seagull sitting in your home right now
that we'll never use ever again.
Right.
That's literally going to go to my house and get thrown in the garbage.
Well, you know,
in a few years. But thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Good job, boys. Going out.
All right, we'll put you in touch with my agent now that you're on screen.
Buckle. I have snacks if you want to have
Thanks.
some.
Appreciate it.
What a gem. That's what you got to deal with when you're on vacation.
Yeah, it's very interesting, just like dynamics of how everything comes together. Though I think it's when you deal with so many different personalities and people to get everybody to come together in like a timely fashion. I think is the greatest thing.
It is strong. It's something that like I look forward to coming here every year.
I do.
I was like, it's like, I get to see those guys once a year. It's something to look forward to. It's something to say, okay, we do that, and then it is what it is, and then we go back and do other stuff, and that's fine too.
Right.
But it's a chore to get up here. We do 12.5-hour drive.
I don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No. It's a 12.5-hour drive to get our asses here, and so we wouldn't do that if we didn't think it was worthwhile. That's really what it boils down to.
Which is appreciative, because we do love seeing you guys, and it's awesome that this is like the thing that we all get to do, and
that's true. I didn't do it. I did do a beach house. Like when I was like a single guy, I did that. But that's a totally different that's a totally different can of worms. Like I used to come out of Manhattan. It would be like 5 p.m. on a Friday, and I would have to. My epic commute down the shore.
How did you do it?
So that's a good question. So then we're cutting back to like this is when I'm in the city.
You live in the city.
Well, I live in Jersey. I was living in Jersey City or Union City, depending on what year. But the point, like I was working in Manhattan. I was on the trading floor doing whatever. So Friday 5 o'clock. Let's say it's like June, like last weekend in June. Clearly we're in summer now. I would have to let's assume I was in, let me think, where was I that year? I was down by World Trade.
Oh, the good old World Trade.
I was at World
District.
Yes, I was down at World Trade at the time. So I would have had to take the PATH train from World Trade to Journal Square. I would have had to then hop in my car. I'd have to walk like 12 blocks to get to my house, to go into my car. I would drive down, take the Pulaski Skyway out of Jersey City. I would have to take that onto the New Jersey Turnpike, take that all the way down. And then I was lucky because my parents were in Jersey, so I would stop and get some dinner and say hi to my parents and let some of the traffic clear out.
Okay.
And what that also allowed me to do is I'd pivot, I'd cut through my town, and eventually I'd take 18 south. That was the trick.
The back way.
I'd say yes, because it's a freeway, but it's not the Parkway, it's not the Turnpike, it's not where the main road is, not where all like the bennies are going down, you know. So I used to take 18 south all the way down and take the back country roads. But all told, it was like a 2.5 hour trek to get down there.
Legitimately, what is harder? A Friday afternoon leaving the city to go to the shore by yourself, or 12 hours with the kids? Dude, that extension leaving the city from the Holland Tunnel to the Turnpike potentially could be one of the worst roads. There's been times leaving the city that I sat on that for 2+ hours. Like there was one, especially when the construction was going on, a Friday in the summer leaving the city.
Awful.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't.
Oh my god.
Well, so one of those. Yes, there are horror stories. One time, I distinctly remember being stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic over the Pulaski Skyway. So the Pulaski Skyway was only 2 lanes at that point. It wasn't. They didn't do the expansion yet. So one car breaks down.
You're done.
You're done. It turns into the alternate merge, which God knows people don't know how to alternate merge, but out of the city. So I got caught in that once, but by dumb luck at the same time, my air conditioner in the car was starting to go.
Oh, God.
Like it wasn't getting as cold, and I was kind of like, oh, I gotta get this checked out, blah, blah. And it died like right there. It was a hot 90+ degree day, and it died. So I was stuck with no air conditioning on the Skyway in gridlock, and it's polluted as fuck. You're not opening your windows. No, because you're either gonna die of heat exhaustion or you're gonna die of like smoke inhalation of like burning rubber
and carbon monoxide.
Yeah, like you just can't win in this situation. So I was like bumper to bumper for like 30 minutes to get over the goddamn thing, just so I could like start moving again. I still had to drive with no air conditioner, but at least by the time I got like out into the burbs, I could open the windows.
It's just I used to get a cigar, and
a
cigar.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, you got to make it like a little like vacation within a vacation.
And that's why I thought Fridays, like going to the shore, was probably the craziest day because everybody just got there.
Right.
And they had a horrendous time getting down there.
Yeah.
And they're fired up from sitting in God knows how long of traffic.
Right. Especially, and it depends on what age you are too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like you got like 25-year-old boys going down the shore. They are voracious.
It's true. And I just remember like getting down there sometimes and like people be waiting for you and the drinks would be lined up and you're just like, cool, you get there and then you wake up the next day and you're like, what happened?
The hell happened? Yeah. One of my worst. So again, this is like because this is pre-COVID. Like there's no concept of work from home. Yeah. There's no concept of just even summer Fridays, especially when you're young in your career. Like maybe like the MD works from home on Fridays, meaning he's just on his cell phone all day because like. He can go tell everybody to fuck themselves. He can do whatever he wants.
Right.
But like your rank and file person is in the office Friday till 5:30, 6 o'clock, just because that's what it is. So there is that mad dash out. You also got to get back. You got to be back there. So like, were you like a Sunday guy?
So my shift work. I had rotating days off.
Okay.
So I was always weird.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If I had a Friday. It took me 7 weeks to have a Friday off.
Okay.
So I'm getting there. I'm getting wherever I need to get there, like ASAP.
I gotcha.
So I have 2 days off.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Like my shift work was crazy. So that's why, like, if I had a Friday 6 to 2 shift, I'm out by 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in my car 2 o'clock, especially when I was working at the trade center. I have to go all the way through Manhattan to get up to Canal,
Right.
to try to get into the Holland Tunnel,
Yep.
to go into the extension just to start my trip. And like, to get to that point was so overwhelming. Like, especially after like a work week where you're like,
You're just like counting down. I get
I
it.
don't know what it is. Like that Friday, you look at your watch or the time and you're like, it's not moving. It's
Right.
not going anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And it just seems like Fridays in the summer are just so much different in the city. There's like a different vibe.
It's the smell.
That too, because you're like, it's, you know, it normally smells like pee and weed, but like it smells like extra pee and extra weed.
And some garbage thrown in for good. Saltwater barge garbage, brine water. It's that it feels like a like a nostalgic memory almost at some point now, because I haven't like done a beach house from like as like my buds and I or whatever since 15 years now. Like we're in a different phase of life. I was joking that some of the towns down here, the lines are around the corner for the bars and like whatever the restaurants. Here it's around the corner for the ice cream shops.
100%.
Like that's pretty much like the definition of how you define the town. Like what are the lines out the door for? It's all ice cream shops around here for the kids.
Right.
That's where we are in our phase of life. And you go like what 10 miles, or we're on an island, but you get off the island, you go 10 miles up and down, you're gonna get one of the party towns. You know, you're gonna get one of those, and then people around the block in their outfits and their whatever else, their gelled hair, and I mean, it's a Jersey Shore. It is what it is.
Right.
I mean, like, come on, like we're not like denying the fact that there are a bunch of Guidos running around trying to get laid, but
I mean, we were those guys.
oh yeah, that's true. That's
And that's where we're at. Sick.
yeah, that's true too. One of the
a lot has changed in
a lot of shit,
15
right?
years.
Yeah, it's like my focal point is on one woman, my wife.
Yes.
So do all those things.
That's why we
Though,
go to the ice cream shop.
right, we go to the ice cream shop. Right, exactly. Right. We're heading back down, and then we got to get ready for back to school. This is always the unofficial kind of last hurrah of summer, because down in where I am now, school starts well before Labor Day. We start
Interesting.
August 25th is first day of school in the county.
Really?
Yeah. That's for like everybody. So we're back. We got like a week and a half or so to regroup and then we're back to school and we're back to the morning routine of that, like getting up and out. Like we got to sleep in an extra hour this summer because our schedules are different. The kids have day camp instead of school, so the schedule's just a little different. We gotta get back into that back to school routine, you know?
That's
Is
always fun.
Yeah, your kids, do they gotta get up and out early? Assuming school starts, like, are they, like, up and out?
So my oldest is going to a different school. I'm not sure if the schedule changes.
Okay.
It should, because it's a different bus, so I would assume that it's...
But is he, like, is he gonna be out the door at, like, 8, 7?
So he was 8 that we had to be at school, so I'm assuming like probably like 7:30
okay.
at school. But luckily, like we tried to like get everything squared away the night before, and
classic.
They're not really terrible getting up. My little guy's a monster, but we're normally pretty good in the morning for the most part. With that being said, I don't do that half the week.
Sure.
So
yeah, okay.
I'm normally at work by 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So every other week I do flip flops. So I'll do when it's my turn. A little more regimented.
Sure.
I'm talking shit. It's always worse when I do it because I yell that.
Yeah, there's the ideal. I have Alexa alarms in my house to tell everyone when it's bedtime. It might as well not exist. They don't listen to it at all.
Oh, you kids don't listen to something? That's
I don't listen to it. But it's nice to have something to point to. I'd be like, the alarm went off. That's all, like, I didn't tell you to go to bed. The alarm went off.
Right.
The alarm goes off every day at the same time. This isn't new.
Right.
So I feel very confident.
So we try to do 7:30, 8 o'clock every day.
Okay. You're talking about at night now for bedtime.
Yes.
Yeah, not like in the morning.
No.
The point I was going to make is just simply that my youngest has to be at the school before 7:15, which means like we're like up in the morning and we're out and like out the door.
Fired up.
Yeah,
early.
and then so we get like an extra hour to sleep all summer. We're going to have to reverse that back an hour starting in the end of August when we get home.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's definitely going to be interesting. We can do early drop off for daycare around 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We choose to do 8:30.
That's fine.
Just because it's so much easier. And my wife working from home makes everything a lot easier. And she does go into the office.
We're pro remote work on this podcast.
I respect that. Unfortunately, my line of work, I asked to work remotely, and they didn't think that was funny. So,
No, I get it. No, we've had the help. Plumbers, electricians, police officers, firefighters. They cannot work remote. I get it. But
I tried. They're just trying to adapt with the times. They don't want to do it. We getting kids out and working with different schedules is very. The summer seems to be a lot more lax, and it's apparently frowned upon bringing your kids late to school every day.
Oh,
so that's
yeah, that'd be tough.
Try to work on.
What was that, vagrancy laws or something? No, that's where you can't live in. Truancy is the word I was looking for. Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll get back to our normal routine, getting up early, and then we work for the day, and then they come home, and that'll just be life for 9 months. This is like our oasis away from it all. So every year coming to New Jersey, the New York, New Jersey area again, feels a little bit more vacation-y and a little less like coming home. You know what I'm saying?
You're now
when the first year we came back, I knew this area far better than my own hometown or my own current town in North Carolina.
Right.
I just didn't know the street names. You ask me where is something, I'd be like, I don't fucking know. Whatever, Google it. What are you asking me for? Is it? But now every year, as there's turnover on restaurants and stuff up here. So there's things that I'm oh, what the hell is that? I didn't know that was there. And then down there, I know what I like now. So it's becoming a little more vacation-y, almost I gotta get my Dunkin' Donuts in up here, because Dunkin' Donuts is not something it's easy to find down in North Carolina. There's just not that many.
Okay.
I mean, they exist, but you really gotta go out of your way to find one, and it's not a drive-through or anything. So you have to it's I'm not gonna drive 15 minutes in the other direction to get out of my car to go get a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. It's just not gonna happen.
That's such a Northeast thing to say.
But it's true.
Oh, it's 100% true.
Yeah. So I like to get my Dunkin' Donuts in. We get our pork roll, egg, and cheese in. We get our bagels in. We get all of our Jersey stuff in. We got a list, all the things we have to get through. Pizza, yeah, that's another one. We gotta get all our Jersey stuff in. So we come here a little bit more like tourists, and it's come back to the old country to soak in the culture for gotta soak in that Jersey culture for 2 weeks before we go back down to more the not New Jersey.
So do you find it that it's creature comforts up here now? With pizza, Dunkin' Donuts, it's things that bring you back to here.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not talking about anything that's so ridiculously out of if I really did have that hankering for a Dunkin' Donuts, I could get to a Dunkin' Donuts.
But a pizza, I'm assuming, and I don't excuse me for this, I'm assuming their pizza and their bagels are not as good as up here.
So I think with that. Yes, the things taste different. And I know it has to do with the water and stuff. So the water in the Carolinas has its own kind of identity. Okay. Because there's big aquifers underneath the water where they draw the fresh water from. So there's some motherfucker in Seattle who yearns for his Charlotte pastry because Charlotte, whatever. So there's a little of that.
Okay.
I'm also not the biggest foodie in the world. I have terrible taste and smell. So it's just eating's a functional requirement, recharging my battery for me. I'm not one to I'm not looking to season something just right or try these brand new foods. No, I'm very much in my pocket of I eat the same damn thing for breakfast every day. I don't try to be that. So I'm not the best person to ask about that sort of stuff. I guarantee you can find people who were foodie. I knew guys who were up here who were big time foodies, and they will give you a 3.5-page write-up of all the things that are different between New York pizza and a Charlotte pizzeria. 100%. Even if they claim, I'll tell you one thing though, if they put in the title New York style pizza, it's the furthest thing from it.
I was gonna say you have to judge the shit out of them.
It's you'd much rather just get their pizza. The one, if they have pizza and New York styled pizza, I guarantee you pizza tastes more like New York pizza than the New York styled pizza.
Right. And I don't like those claims. I don't just be your own.
Yeah.
I have that in Florida too. Like my wife's family has a house in like the Wellington area, and everything's New York this, New York bagel. It's like, cool, we get it, but like you're not in New York.
Sure. Right.
Like do your own thing.
Yeah. It should be like, Florida something or other. So yeah.
Be like, oh, they're shit. I'm not going there.
That's true too. I mean, I get it. It's marketing, but it's not the same, and it is something we come up with. The big one, which I find entertaining, is Serpico, the cop. Now, you walk around down in the Carolinas with a name like Serpico, and a lot of people think you're in the mob. Like and they say it as like a joke, but they're like, because like Serpico Soprano, like it's very similar, and so they're like, it's like, oh, you're from New York, be like, oh yeah, you gotta, well, that's the cocaine side. I think that's like, I've been more like one of these. I get the Serpico references, like, oh, do you know the cop, whatever else, and blah, 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 and everyone tries to like pick my brain about that, which is funny because the movie's from like the 70s now, so you're only getting people who are like over 65 asking you about it.
Right.
Like no one who's under 35 really knows who like Frank Serpico was as like a cop in the 70s cleaning up New York, whatever.
Right. He was like actually complete opposite. He was like anti-corruption, and he kind of. But didn't he go after all the bad cops? Wasn't that? So
in one of the weirdest like Al Bundy style, like Whoa Bundy family things, when my whole family was there last week, we were talking about the movie just as point of reference, because I was telling basically the same story to them about how people would like ask me about it down in the Carolinas, and so we're like, and we looked, and it was available on demand. So my mom, myself, my dad, and then my wife was popping it out. We sat and watched the movie Serpico from 1973 for like, we watched like the first like hour and a half of it, and it came from the thing that, because I get asked about it still, a movie 50 years old and a story 50 years old that's very localized to New York. I still get asked about it in like Carolinas. I don't like it when people know more about it than I do and start to ask me invasive questions about it. They're like, oh, did you know that, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like I know basic stuff, but like if people start to quiz me on it like that, it's like, it's obnoxious. But admittedly, we were all kind of like, what was it? So we said, let's watch the movie so that we have it fresh in our heads.
Right.
So I just watched the movie Serpico for the first time in probably like 15 years. And you got all like what the grungy New York life was like in the 70s and how the cops were and everything. And yeah, the bottom line is of the story is that cops in NYPD and others in the 70s, there were a lot of them were on the take. A lot of them would look the other way for stuff when the mob was in full swing. And so he didn't like that. And he kept trying to avoid it. He's like, no, I don't want any money. I just want to do my job, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually he he testified in open court, of all the things that he'd seen through part of a big commission to clean up the police department, and it basically was a big like thing in the 70s, like New York 70s, like, oh, cleaning up this corruption. But then the not to bury the lead, but the key factor is that there was a drug bust that he was sent to, and then he was supposed to get backup from other people, and then they kind of just like ignored it, and as a result he got shot in the face. Like he got like the guy stuck the gun out the door and just shot him, and he got shot in the face, and luckily somebody was around who actually did like, and he survived it and healed, but then that's what drove him to then openly testify against the department. So that's like the basic story. Here, it's actually a little divisive. I think some people don't like him. I've gotten shit about, like, I've been like you like a lot of some cops might moonlight as bouncers at a restaurant or a bar, right? Yeah. And so they do ID checks. And so I've handed my ID to someone online who looks at it, and then he'd start like ragging on the name Serpico. I'm like, all right, dude, like just give me my fucking IDs. Let me get my beer. But that was one of the big things that we always get about New York now. Down in the Carolinas.
It's interesting. So, being in that line of work, understanding there's a code. It's a rough scenario. So it's a slippery slope because you always want to back everybody up.
Right.
You don't want to snitch.
I'm also trying to speak objectively about the plot of the story without intertwining any political thoughts about it. Like, I'm just trying to give you the plot of a movie, yeah. But I know what you're driving at, because it's like, there's a lot of, like, I love, generally speaking, they're my favorite people. Oh, I love them so much. Like, no, but I, like, you know, NYPD, the FDNY, the Port Authority, the even like all the workers and stuff in New York City are like really like unionized groups of people who do a lot. So generally speaking, you want to be on their side. Like, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. But, you know, you get shot in the face. It's like, it's the ultimate example of Mike Tyson's quote. If, like, you get punched in the... Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah. Everyone's on the same side until you get shot in the face.
Yeah, and then you see who your friends are. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a little bit of an eye-opener.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See certain things like that. I mean... the 70s were very different. The
70s were crazy.
I mean... working in the city in the 2000s is wild.
Well, 2000, like, 20s, you mean?
So, yes. Yeah. I was in the city from 2015 to 2018. And just seeing the city, like, progressively get worse was wild. And, like, and I was in a good part of the city, like, Five like, area. But, like, I know people who work up at, like, the bus terminal and in Path and all over the city, and it's just, it's a scary place. I don't enjoy it.
I lived on the Path train in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. Like, that whole time frame, I lived on the Path train. Like, in and out, hopping all around to downtown, Midtown, Hoboken, Jersey City, like, all around. I had all different places to go around there. Never once felt unsafe. Never once had a problem. One time I got sick and threw. Like, I was the problem once. I'm not in the Path, but one time I threw up into the what do you call it, the rails.
The rails,
yeah. At a station, because I got sick once down there. So I was the problem. For some reason, I don't trust it right now. Like, I would go on by myself without concern, but I would not want to take my family of 3 small kids and my wife, who my wife is not a fan of going to the city generally. I would not want to bring them in. It just feels like too big of a task right now.
So it's very interesting, the city. What would be the point of going in? Is what I always ask myself.
Sure. Yeah. What are you doing there?
Like, I love going to Ranger games. I love going to the Garden.
Right.
I love it. I think it's the best place in the world.
Sure.
Is it worth going to a show there? Is it worth going to Rangers when I can just sit on my couch and not have to deal with the nonsense? It's so different from when I feel like we were growing up and like when we were working there. It's a lot of mental illness, a lot of craziness. It's just like, you could be walking down the street minding your own business and you just get punched in your face. Somebody pushed you to the ground. And like, I wish I could say that I enjoyed it and I loved it. Like I did. Because the food is great. The sights. But like, could you explain to your kids why there's somebody that's pissing on the floor, somebody just pulled their pants down to shit on the, like, who's jerking off everywhere? Like, it's the craziest shit, and you're like, how do you explain that to your kids? Like, would you want to bring your kids to Penn Station?
No.
It's a fucking third world. It's crazy. It's completely insane. And it's dangerous, on top of that.
Well, you know, no, we're a little late to the game, but, like, the Park Ave shooter, 345 Park, the guy who went in and shot up the NFL. So I worked. That's a perfect example. Like, where we were, every time something like that happens, and don't get me wrong, I get that these are like, relatively speaking, very rare things. Yes. Like, they're newsworthy because it's like, wow, can't believe that happened. But every time we're down there now and we see stuff like that, like all the Newark airport problems, Path fire, there was just a fire on the Path train. All we said is, well, thank God I don't deal with this shit anymore. Like, I just don't want to, it's just one less thing I have to contend with in life.
Yes. And you know what, it's just different problems, different places. It's just, there's so many people here that are, and a lot of it has to do with mental illness and just being crazy and wild. But it's just sad that, like, you can't feel safe going to an airport or, like, going on a train or, like...
Yeah, it's just there's like an edge. Everyone's just slightly more on edge than they would have been otherwise. That's like maybe the best way to frame it.
Yeah, and
I used to have 2 earbuds in when I was on there. Now maybe I put 1 in.
But another thing I think that
you know what I mean.
Understand with just mentioning that, like, be aware.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just be aware of, like, would you read a newspaper on any form of transportation right now?
I don't know. Like I'd hold my phone a little tighter if I was reading something on my phone. You know what I mean? It's just like a little bit of that vibe. Or, it's sad.
How about when you go and a train pulls up? Just something stupid. This is a huge New York thing.
Make sure nobody's there to push you onto the tracks.
Number 1, yes, be aware of your surroundings, not yellow line. But also when you go onto a train and there's nobody on it. Why is that?
Oh, because somebody shitting it or something and it smells. I've had that problem. Yeah.
So it's always like a New York thing where you're like, oh, cool, this train's completely empty, and then you smell it and you're like, fuck. God damn it.
I've had that happen before. Yeah.
But there's like certain New York things where you're just like,
yeah, that's a real anyone who's experienced that knows exactly what you're talking about. Knows exactly what you're talking about, and other people are like,
that doesn't even make sense.
It's like, really? Ugh, yeah.
Because like, especially like, it's packed. And you just get on, you're like,
like, this is too good to be true. Something.
Like,
there's gonna be like a naked man laying on the. Yeah, something is definitely.
There's just a body.
Yeah.
In a corner. But like, that's the crazy thing about New York City. Like, that's like every day. Like, that's a normal thing.
Right.
As crazy as that sounds. But like, maybe we're sheltering our kids. But like, do you want to explain that?
I not really. No. Like, I will say we're very sheltered in some respects. Like, I grasp that, but I did 10 years going in and out of this. Like, I know what that's. I know what that is, and I'm good over here.
Right.
Like, I just don't need to deal with that. I don't need to be walking over the homeless guy to go to work. You know, I did when I was working down near World Trade, I was working at a bank, and it was during the Occupy Wall Street protests. This was like Zuccotti Park 2011, and so at the time, like, I was young, but I would get off the path, and I'd have to walk through in my like khakis and my fucking polo shirt with my canvas messenger bag, like the biggest fucking dork in the world, walking through.
The people that they were protesting was.
I was yes, I was definitely one of the people that they were protesting. I have old pictures of it. Maybe I'll put them up with the recording. But I would be like in my office, like sticking pictures of them down there, and I wasn't like there's occasionally you'll see stuff where like the Wall Street guy is like shouting at the protesters like, get a job or something like that. I wasn't like that. I got why they were upset. Like, I thought their complaints were legitimate, but their tactics were terrible. Like, there's no way this is gonna work. Like, sitting in Zuccotti Park for like weeks on end like, you're not accomplishing anything. You're not doing anything. This isn't like the '60s. You're not doing a sit-in in Columbia University. They didn't accomplish anything, and eventually Bloomberg, who was like a Wall Street guy, like Michael Bloomberg, who was mayor, he was like, you know, what happened was like eventually some of the higher ups called him and was like, get them the fuck out of here. Yeah, like, this is enough's enough.
Yeah, this is wild.
And they did. They scooped them all up one night, and then the next day it was like emptied.
But it was just like, I get what you're doing, like you're saying. It's just like.
I get it. I get
literally shit and weed everywhere. Like, that's all that was. It was just like, and like a bunch of nasty tents.
Yeah, and people
yourselves more
and
than
like
anybody else.
Yeah, and I remember there was a McDonald's like 2 blocks over, and then they had a big problem because everybody kept using the bathroom and stuff like that. And it's like, you're not. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking of, and that's just that's not a plan. That's just a nuisance.
But like, there's nothing there. Like on the weekends, it's kind of funny because literally, like, there's nobody there.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah.
Unless you're living there, like, there's no reason for you to be down there.
Oh yeah, it's desolate.
And like the Trade Center site was just literally there was nothing there. So it was just
especially at that time. At that time, I'll call it the Freedom Tower till the day I die, even though they want to call it One World Trade.
Yeah.
That's just I'm just of that age when it was just like, no, it was the Freedom Tower. Yeah, it didn't open until what 20? Oh fuck, I don't remember.
The museum opened in 2015, 14?
I don't know. I'm really happy that we've naturally arrived on 9/11 because 9/11 is always a common theme in these podcasts. Somehow, Thomas and I are really bad about it. But all right, let's talk more about 9/11. All right.
Well, you know what? I worked there for many years, and I just think it's something that we should never forget. And it's one of those places that is just sacred and holy. And there was one time where they were going to have protests there, and there's things you do and there's places you go to protest. That's not one of them.
I gotcha.
And the feelings that were amongst the fellow police were not happy.
I can understand.
When that was going on, it was going to get bad.
I believe that's something that could happen. I get it.
It's amazing. Like once you talk to like family members and stuff. So like working 9/11, I worked the 20th anniversary, the 19th anniversary.
And to be clear, we were not old enough to be in the workforce yet.
No.
On 9/11, I didn't start going into the city until 2006. So I started working near World Trade in 2006.
Okay, but it was still nothing there.
Correct. It was a big old hole in the ground.
Yes. So working 9/11's really opened my eyes to how divided we are as a nation. Mm-hmm. Because you'd have the family members coming in, you'd have dignitaries, you'd have multiple presidents, and then you'd have like the Westboro Baptist Church on a corner, and then you'd have like the 9/11 truthers that would be on Vesey Street literally every day, and people would be like throwing shit at them and then the people outside of Silverstein saying that the Jews did it, and like there was like it was just like the craziest shit like that. There was like like it's like the actual 9/11 day, and these like families are coming in just to like kind of like get a little piece that they'll never get.
Right. No, I understand.
And you're throwing this shit in their face, and then like there was like these like motorcycle gangs that would come in and like try to
get them out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was just really like it was such a weird array, and then like at the end of the day, oh, it's gonna piss me off. The bar that's across the street from the Greek church, you'd have all the firefighters and cops and everybody would go and chill, and that was like the
I can't remember. I think I know where you're talking about, but I can't remember the name either. Because it's been a while.
It was right by Tent House.
Yeah.
Right next door.
Okay.
And it was right by the Port Authority's station house. But it was like one of those things where it's like it's crazy to see like how people see the same thing totally different.
Oh sure. Absolutely.
Like we're looking at the same thing and you're looking at it totally different. And it's one of those things that I'm glad that I experienced it, and talking with families and stuff, it's one of those things that it's just like, it's wild. It's the day that people just are stuck in forever, and it seems to be that the city has forgotten.
Well, we're what, 25 years out? 24.
Was it 15th anniversary I did? No. 15, 16, 17.
One of the more interesting things about being out of the city, like, I had 35 years of being in the New York, New Jersey area before I really lived anywhere else. The sense of, if you watch the news elsewhere, it's surprising how much New York is anchored to the news still. Like if you watch national news, like you watch like, I don't know, like World News Tonight or mainstream, just like cable corporate, like Walter Cronkite legacy news, the amount of coverage of things that are still in the New York area is startling when you're not there anymore. Like when I'm living in New York and they talk about like some crazy person in Times Square, you're like, oh yeah, I heard about it. I was like, well, yeah, good thing. I walked through Times Square like last week or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't think about it, but then when you're in like fucking like the middle of the country and then they're still doing a national news about a guy in Times Square, it feels much more like, I've never been to Times Square. Like I have no idea. You do the opposite. Like I've never really been to Los Angeles.
Yeah. Never.
And you talk about like, if there's like national news about somebody doing something, I would scroll right past it. So there's like the further away you are from something, the less you actually give a shit about it.
Right.
So like there are a lot of, and then you get the second dimension of age, like the people who are working on Wall Street down by World Trade right now, all the analysts, and it's intern season. Intern season is just ending. It's the summer. They were born after 9/11.
Yes.
Like, people who are now working at World Trade Center were born after 9/11. So they have no idea. They have no firsthand... Did you ever go to the World Trade Centers, like the Twin Towers? Were you ever physically there?
So yes. And my parents got engaged at Windows of the World.
Oh, cool.
So I'll always have a little piece.
So when I was little, my parents took me in a city or one show, and we have like little pictures of it, and I thought like the revolving doors as like a 4-year-old was like amazing, and I was just like going around and around and around. Or like you know how like the escalators are like super long and steep, like I thought those were amazing and stuff like that.
The flags on the inside.
Yeah. So like, you get like, I was in there like once, and there's like a picture of me like as a little kid in there once, but I'd been there and I saw it all the time. So you have a tactile like view of it, you know, right. Like people who watch like an old episode of Friends when they do a skyline shot and they see the Twin Towers. If you're like 22 and you're watching it on like syndicated reruns because you're hungover, you're just like, that feels like that might as well be like Gangs of New York, you know, like it's like very old. It's right. Like it doesn't exist anymore.
How about a weird thing? I want to say it was Limp Bizkit Break Stuff filmed there. It was like one of the last music videos filmed on top of the World Trade Center.
Oh yeah.
Like they were on the top, and there's like helicopters like flying around it.
Oh.
I want to say it's Limp Bizkit.
Maybe, I don't know.
It was like one of those things that's like, but that's not that old. In my mind, you're like, Limp Bizkit's not that old, but it is.
It is to some people. On Abbott Elementary, they do a good one where the guy's trying to talk about he's like stuck on a lesson. He just has to come up with something to talk about. So he's just like, all right, guys, we're gonna talk about like, you know, music. We're gonna talk about like classic music, and they start raising their hands. All these little kids are like, so he's like, name a classic rock musician, and one guy raises his hand and he goes, Rihanna. And it's like, what? No, Rihanna's not classic. That it's like Rihanna hit in 2005, and the kid's like, I was born in 2018. And it's just like, all right, I get it. Yeah, Rihanna's old to some people. But that same sort of thing happens all over the place. My point, Ben, generally speaking, is like time like rolls over, and they're like idiot 22-year-olds don't know 9/11. 9/11 is in the history books for them. It's like the JFK assassination. Like,
yeah,
it's like it's interesting, but it's still history.
Right. Yeah, and it's also just like generational. I don't think they understand like that day changed the entire world, and how there was pre 9/11 and there was post 9/11.
I use that as a marker, 100%.
And there were times where like you could do things that you 100% can't do now.
Oh yeah.
Think about anything with traveling.
Traveling was such a different vibe.
Like going to like, you could walk down to like meet people at the gate.
Right. Yeah, that was like a thing.
Like the craziest thing. Like,
yeah. It's like movies used to do that. Like, it could be a classic thing in a movie is like the guy runs to the gate to meet the girl.
Yes.
And you watch it through modern eyes, and you're like, why didn't the TSA get him?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't he tackled to the ground?
Right.
Like, right.
There was no TSA.
There was no TSA, right? I was just gonna say. Like when I tell people like my New York is post 9/11 to pre-COVID. Like I said, I started going into New York shortly after 9. Like in high school, I like this was like 2002, 2003. I would go to like a Yankee game. Like I took the train and then transferred to the subway and go to a Yankee game, and like with my buddies, and that was like a big trip. Like, oh, we're gonna go to New York, we're gonna go to Yankee Stadium, blah blah blah. That was right after 9/11, and then COVID hit in March 2020, and I was out. Like I think I've been in the city 5 times in 5 years since then.
Really?
Like that was it. It was just, I was done. Like I basically was out. And so my New York is post 9/11 to pre-COVID. And pretty good stretch.
Yeah, that's wild. Because now it's completely different. The city.
Yeah, and it's like that. Not like I feel like if I go into the city, I'm gonna be like, this is so disappointing.
I can't talk for the business world, but I feel like a lot of businesses still haven't recovered. Like, why go back in if you don't have to? I know that there's a big force that's like everybody's trying to get in.
Are you talking about like people going into the city to go into work?
Work.
Oh yeah. Well, the political and tax incentives for people to do RTO, return to office, is big, and like other people like agree with me. I get that, say, like a bank or a hedge fund or a law firm or whatever who has office space in the city, they have a lease and they have to make their payments.
Correct.
B, there are tax incentives in the New York, New Jersey area, like to draw people to that particular area, and there's conditions on it. So, for example, in the city of Newark issued tax incentives to companies to start flooding into the new office space that they had built there maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
So they exempted the capacity requirements to get the tax incentive right after COVID hit, right? So like basically they said like you have to, if you need to prove through badge swipes and whatnot that you are filling like 80% of your floor space to get the tax incentive, because they want like if it's rated for say 500 people on this floor, you got to have like say 400 people coming in every day, because then they know at least 400 people are going to be like going to get lunch and swiping their badge, their Metro card, and paying the parking attendant, all that shit, right? They know all that stuff's going to happen. If you only have like 100 people in there, then they're not making any bang for their buck, so they take it away. So at some companies, so for example, they slowly ratcheted it back in over time.
Okay.
So what they did was, all right, look, I get it, but you really need to get some people in. And then they started like, okay, we're going to return to office as voluntary. And then the tax incentive became, you have to have 40% minimum, 40% capacity. So they interpreted that as 2 days a week in the office. And that's how they hit the 40% to get the tax credit. And then they got words at some places that, I think it was starting this year, it's 60% now. Like you got to fill it 60% to get the tax credit.
Okay.
Lo and behold, January 1st, they said, in the name of collaboration and productivity, everyone has to go into the office 3 days a week. And that's what pisses me off. It's like, look, don't bullshit me and tell me that it's about productivity and collaboration. Just be honest. You're a business. You want to make money. You have tax incentives to get everybody in the office. Plain and simple. I may still not like it, but at least you're not, like, gaslighting me.
Yeah,
that's like I get very insulted when they make bullshit reasons up to try to like soften the blow. Whichever, it's like, don't insult my intelligence. You hired me because I'm a smart guy. Don't then think me out to be stupid and you can get something over on me.
Well, the tax incentives I got that live by me specifically, they just put the Netflix headquarters in. So they just
that was a big one they did. Yeah.
So I'm for it. I'm very for it because it's going to blow up the area.
I agree.
Infrastructure was already there, and you had literally nothing. And even an eyesore.
Is it? It used to be Fort Monmouth.
Yep.
Yeah, they changed Fort Monmouth into.
And it was a communications hotbed for whatever the army.
Fort Monmouth did communications work for the army, so they had like probably a lot of like the lines dug, all the internet cables and such are already built out there. Yeah.
The amount of people that. I don't know if they were uneducated or just not understanding and grasping the concept of having this come in.
Yeah.
I think Governor Murphy gave them like a 30-year tax abatement.
Something like that.
But like, they're going to be going to the local froyo spot. They're going to be washing their cars.
Sure.
The restaurants are going to blow up. Everybody's house value is going to blow up. Like it's
hotels around the area, because like if Netflix got people coming in, they're gonna like book. It's gonna be like constantly booking like rooms and blocks of rooms. They're gonna have perpetual blocks of rooms on reserve, paying for them to always be able to put somebody up.
Like it just helps. Like, I don't really understand. Like, yes, the roads are going to be shittier because there's going to be more traffic, but like, that's 9 to 5.
Yeah. A lot of that gets into what is like. There's a winner and a loser in every argument or every decision. So like the losers or the people who are going to tell you why it sucks. Like nobody thinks it's a good idea goes out there and starts like shouting from the rooftops like Julia Andrews saying like this is great. You're just going to hear about like I don't know. Like I don't know what was there ahead of time, so I can't think of a great example. But like I don't know if there was like a guy who did military photographs, like he's out of luck, like because.
But that was the thing. There was literally nothing there. It's open space. So like that wasn't there to begin with. So it doesn't like. So there you don't really have like
you don't have
argument.
There's
no, there was no
like what's done is done.
Or you could have this multi-billion-dollar agency come in and have their headquarters there.
Yeah,
but, like it didn't really make sense.
I think there might be. I know almost nothing about the deal, but there could be a very strong argument that Netflix is going to probably get away with murder on the tax. Like it's going to be a negative investment overall from like that perspective, because like you know how they'll do though is the tax incentives to build, like for a billionaire is going to build a new stadium for the sports team or whatever, and they're going to give all these taxes, or they're like he's just going to move the team if we don't get the tax stuff or whatever else. You get a lot of that arbitrage among particularly like larger corporations like Fortune 100 or like big tech like that. I would wager that if they took whatever the tax is, whatever the dollar value of the tax credit is, they could probably invest it dispersed throughout the state. Because that's a fair argument. They're like, okay, Fort Monmouth is going to get this new studio, but like fuck Cape May. Like they don't get that money, you know. There's a lot. That's a fair critique of like, you know, hey, you know, it'd be great like if we fixed all the roads in Hudson County, like you know.
Yes.
Like there's a case to be made on that. Like that's real. But sometimes that's just sour grapes. You lost. You didn't win.
Yeah, that's just unfortunately Cape May is gonna have to go do wind turbines or something.
Maybe they will. Maybe that's what it's going to be. And then you know what it's going to. Then you're going to get the seagull advocates pissed off that it's killing birds.
Well, that was another thing like that they were talking about was they were going to make wind turbines like right off the coast
of LBI here.
It was going to be like off the coast of New Jersey.
I knew there was a New Jersey plant. I knew that, but this is a good example of something I vaguely hear about, but not nearly enough detail. Not being
shit on it, which I hope they did because it's just like an eyesore. Nobody wants to see it. It's not really like.
The eyesore thing doesn't really bother me if they're clustered together in one spot. I mean, like 110, 20 years ago, people thought telephone poles were an eyesore.
100%, yeah.
And no, but I don't think twice about telephone poles when I walk past them.
Would you want a cell phone tower in your backyard?
They're not in my direct backyard, but there is a cell phone tower like just at the end of my development, and it's like fine. I don't give a shit.
That's like
I like rocked the stroller past it, like you know, it's not a big deal. It is what it is. I get it, you know.
It's whatever.
It's like when you get the green like hubs on your lawn because the electrical needs like an open port.
Yes.
It's just a thing that has to exist. If I have to choose between that and not having electricity, I'll choose that.
I mean, yes, it makes sense, 100%. But you're always gonna have like. The wind turbine thing is weird because there was like a lot of like marine life that was dying, so that was kind of like weird. And
like that's a legitimate concern. Like
there's like whales washing.
Like there's a massive economy here at the Jersey Shore.
Yes,
so they do have legitimate concerns that if they're going to be like everybody would love it 10 miles up or 10 miles down from where they are.
Yes, you don't see it.
So you don't see it, 100%. Or you only see it like vaguely in the distance there, but nobody wants it directly on their shoreline. That's what it is.
100%.
Yeah.
And can you imagine you have like a multi-million-dollar house and then
right, and there's that. I mean, you know, it'd be like the Jersey Shore is not the Hamptons, but the Hamptons is like that. They have that sort of political clout to be like, no, you're not putting any of that nonsense.
That's just wild.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know. We're starting to come up on time though soon, so I mean we hang out a little bit, but I know we're also starting to be on borrowed time from what we said we would allocate.
Yes, I mean I'm good to go as long as you want.
Well, let's finish it off on this last topic. You have now been here, I think, 3 times. I think you've done it 3 times now. Have you ever gone back to read over, or no, you wouldn't have read it. You would have watched your own episodes?
I have not.
You've not?
I'm not.
Do you have any incentive to do so? Any desire to do so? Like, look back at what you said at the Jersey Shore a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Do you have any inclination to do that?
No. You know what? I think that this shows how much we've grown every year, and that's in the past. Keep pushing forward. That's
fair. Because I get it. No, some people don't want to do it. Some people don't like to hear the sound of their own voice. I very rarely ever go back and look to see what I said. I'll do it for like very, very specific reasons. Like I have a need to do it.
Okay.
Like for example, I've pulled some of the Substacks that I've written. I'll like go back and page through them, and I'll submit them as sample writings for other things I've submitted my name for to do.
Okay.
That's an example of something where I will use it for, and it's an example of why it's actually good value, because I do have an audit trail of things that I've said, so I can like go back and point. I mean, there's positives and negatives to that, but anything I've said or anything I will say, I'll own. I don't care. I'm not running for public office. I'm not going to be a managing director at some big investment firm anytime soon. I'm fine.
I can self-censor for the most part.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like as long as I'm not saying some completely outlandish shit, I'm good to go.
There's also the fact that 23 people listen to this, so.
There are 23 people that are awesome. But with that being said, I do work for a very big company.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I do work in a public setting where, like, if I were to say some, like, completely outlandish shit,
There could be repercussions.
definitely be a problem. But, like...
I mean, I start ranting racist bullshit. Eventually, if that came back, and they would be a leg to stand on. But I don't plan on doing that.
Thank God we cover our faces when we do that. just kidding. But, like, if there was something that would hinder my career significantly, so that's why
We don't have to worry about that.
There's been people that take this as like an open forum.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, because we'll make sure that there's nothing that's going to give you a problem.
No, and but we keep the topics very.
That's the thing. I mean, like,
chill.
I think that I get a lot of. Here's what was surprising to me. I have my own reasons for doing this. One of them is I have a mechanism to practice skills which I deem valuable in my line of work. This boils down to talking to a camera for 60 minutes and writing 500-word essays.
Okay.
That's essentially my job now. My job is like I got to write up a report of explaining something that happened to my managers, or I got to hop on Zoom calls and talk about something for an hour, and sometimes I have to like give a PowerPoint presentation. That's my fucking job. So I've been doing this now. It really helped me get the job. Like, because I was comfortable speaking to a camera and blah, 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 and I could write, blah, blah, blah. So there's that. There's also, I also like to do a lot of like technical stuff behind the scenes and like learn all that. Like I do a lot of AI work through this to get sharp at AI, because that's coming in my line of work.
At least you're adapting and getting ready for it.
That's the idea. Yeah, that's a big piece of it. So I do it for that. I never judge anyone who doesn't want to do it because they have their own reasons for it. But now I'm losing my train of thought. What were we talking about? I totally lost my train of thought.
We were talking about all of why you do this.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but I thought there was... How did we get on that? No, I lost it.
Going from... Have we listened to what our old podcasts were?
Oh, yeah.
Going that way.
Point is, yes. The point is that I do it for my own reasons, and all the things I listed. Another reason is because I get to track everything that I've said, and yeah, I have gone back and seen it occasionally, and it's like I stand by that, which is good, like character building and integrity, if thought of in the right direction. That's how I think of it.
So exactly what you're saying right now. You see it, all of this.
Yeah.
I get to wear it on a little box every day.
Oh, that's true.
So every day I get to do this. For real. And if I think about what I'm saying, I'm going to get in trouble. Because I just speak. And I continuously talk. Like how I'm talking to you is how I would talk to anybody in a street interaction.
Right.
But unfortunately, my show is a lot less of an audience than yours is. And it can get me in a lot of trouble.
Sure, I get it.
If I say and do some crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I like doing this. Like... It's kind of comfortable because I do this.
Sure.
This is what I do. And like, I'm not trying to brag about it, but like, unfortunately, like, I have an interaction with you, I double click my chest, and now you're part of my show.
That's interesting. And I think that's a really good example of... Wow, that's sharp. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So,
like you are constantly aware that somebody is able to go back and recap what you did, and that helps like keep things kind of like even keeled.
So going back to looking at my things, I don't do it because then I second guess. I second guess, I get in trouble. Or I lose myself in my thoughts.
That's interesting.
Can I do something better? Can I do this? Can I do that? Is there things you could always do better? Yeah, 100%. I think with my line of work, second guessing yourself will just kill you at the end of the day. That's something that you hesitate, you fail, you die.
I guess I just died because I hesitated.
But it's like one of those things, like own your decision and stick with it. Whether right, wrong, and different, you did it. You got to own it. And I think that's a huge thing that people now don't understand in any line of work. You own your decision. You did it. Figure it out.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and no, I hear you. That's good advice.
And then pussyfooting around things is never something that I do. That's
nope. No. Well, that's good advice. I like it. No, you explain what I like. Nerdy went through, explain. Oh, I do the technical, and then you're just like, no. I have to. I'm like watched. I have to be very aware of what I'm doing. You have like a legitimate reason to do it. Mine's like.
But it's cool to be like on the opposite end where this is a lot more chill and like I can definitely be a lot looser.
Oh yeah.
Where like I have to be professional at all times. Like you could be telling me to go fuck myself and all sorts of crazy shit, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then I still have to be like that's where it's completely irrational. But honestly, like I know people have like freaked out about the body cameras and they're not really like cool with it. It's only helped me because it shows how completely fucking insane people are.
I agree. I get it. I'm on board with it. All right. Well, you know what? Let's leave it at that. I got nothing else to say. Like you got me topped.
I'm sorry.
No, you're rightfully. But you know, so this was fun. I'm glad we got this in.
Yes.
Like I really had to sneak it in, but I'm glad it happened. Hopefully everything came out okay. Everything looks good, but it's a lot harder to manage this as one person, like kind of checking everything while you're doing it. So. But hopefully it came out good. I appreciate you being here. We ended our third annual on location. We'll be here next year. I have no intention of not being here, so we'll see how it plays out. But you got any last things you want to say before we sign off?
Thank you again. Always appreciated. I'm glad that your followers unfortunately get to see me for the third year in a row. And I love it. I do enjoy it. Thank you for inviting me.
So next month we're probably going to be back in the Zoom thing. Thomas will be back next month more likely than not. I don't have anybody else lined up. But I'm happy you came. Happy you're here. Happy we got to do this.